series is probably all you expected and more, right? Like you talked before the playoffs, you know, 8 of those games went to overtime.
Yeah.
And now just, the hard fought series, but now you're moving on to the next round.
Yeah, it was a hard fought series, and you know, the two teams are so close in the way I think I want to say defend. Um, we were looking at it as a staff, statistically, analytically, we were the better team. But at this time of year, you get, Brodeur was unbelievable. They got some timely goals, and obviously the overtime, back-to-back overtime wins. There's a little bit of puck luck involved, but we also said it just doesn't make sense. We win one, they win two, we win 3-4, they win 5-6. Like it felt like we had to win this game, and obviously we did. But I mean, we needed to. The tide needed to turn our way a little bit, and we did it the hard way. I mean, we had to kill off what 4 or 5. The penalties were 5 to really none. We had a 10-second penalty, but the 4-minute one was tough. And we grinded it out, and we're able to be the team that scores late.
You guys win the first playoff series in franchise history. Your first year here in home ice. What does that mean to you?
You know what? I don't think about that stuff, but obviously it's special. I mean, I think this group this year, this team has, it's a young franchise, but broken a lot of records. I think that winning streak, that road record, that road trip, and then obviously clinching home ice and getting over the hump. I know they were in a 7-game series with the Adirondack, I believe, 2 years ago. But being able to get out of the first round is huge, and it's nice to know that our fans get to see more hockey here at the Cross.
How have you seen Willem progress as a player on the ice since his return to
Yeah, it's so tough. I was in a similar situation when I played. We basically had the same shoulder surgery, and I went to Europe. I was out all year. But I had a little more runway. I had 12 games, and I was at that point, almost 30 years old. So, a little longer in the tooth, shall we say. But he did such a good job of staying in shape. And then, when he came into practice, he was almost hungry to prove, like, he's no dummy. He knew we had a good team. He knew we were going to have to make some tough decisions. And come hell or high water, he was getting on that playoff roster and getting in the lineup, and was able to just play, I believe, a handful of games at the end of the year. And you know what? To be honest with you, I feel I got to use him more because he brings good energy and he's physical, but he understands where he's at and what he's been through this year. And to come up big like that today, obviously, is so huge.
Just talk about the importance of killing off that power play early in the third. It's a 1-1 game. They have a golden chance to take the lead there.
Yeah, our PK's been good all year. Good series. Bertuzzi gets one. I think the first or second power play, but yeah, obviously, anytime you get a kill late, it's a momentum boost, and it gets you out of trouble.
Coach, you're up 3 games to 1 in the series. Of course, overtime loss in Game 5, overtime loss last night. Talk about the mental toughness of that room.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've harped on since the beginning of the series, but I'll be honest, the frustration, even in the loss in Glens Falls, like, it's a bad bounce, it's a bad break, it was a goal, but it was potentially controversial. Then they don't review it, and it is what it is. But the guys were really down, and I'll be honest, I was kind of worried about them. And then you build them back up, you get a little bit of rest. You come out here and you feel you play good. You get lots of opportunities in overtime, and boom, they do what they do. They take advantage of a 6-on-5 late, and then score in overtime, and it's just like, oh man, it's a gut punch. Like, even as a staff, you felt we definitely felt we deserved Game 6, but it is what it is. This is the hockey this time of year at any level. So we just really emphasized this morning, like, you got to move on. Like, it's both teams. It's do or die for both teams. So it's a little different mentality, I guess, for us going into it. And like I said, I just felt that it was our turn the way this series had gone, and the guys did a unbelievable job. And we talked about just staying focused and not getting involved in the chirping and all that stuff, and just focus on a shift at a time.
Then moving on now, short turnaround, Wheeling. I mean, you obviously just finished this game, but you know, what's Wheeling have to offer for you guys?
They're a good team, very well coached, always, good structure, deep. It's going to be a challenge, especially, we gotta fly down there tomorrow, and they've been resting a bit. And, I go back to game 5, like that was, I think, a little, as a staff, we knew what the schedule looked like. So when we lost that one, we were like, oh, it would have been nice to get a couple days, but it is what it is. Obviously we should be feeling pretty good about ourselves from a confidence standpoint that, took a couple, we got knocked down a couple notches in this series, and now it's built back up. But at this point, practice is pretty much off the table from this point on anyways, and we knew it would be. So we'll get down there tomorrow, get on the road, everybody's together, and get after it. But they're a good hockey team.
Coach, you go from Jeremy Brodeur to now Gauthier, who had 2 shutouts against Reading. How do you beat this goaltender?
Well, I think that the winning goal tonight, we didn't do enough of that against Brodeur. I mean, he was outstanding. I think we peppered him pretty good in game 1, but traffic, pucks through. That's an area that I felt we started to improve as the series went on, and then in game 6, we got a lot blocked, and our D just, at this level, when a defenseman gets a puck blocked, they start to lose confidence, and then they just throw it down the wall, and then defensively they squash it. When you look at their goal, I mean, Hansel makes a heck of a play in game 6 and fakes and fakes and fakes and then rips one. So, getting pucks and bodies to the net, it's really that simple, and that's exactly what won the game for us tonight. All right. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.